Good day, Yums 8. Good day, Mama Espinili. I am Alina Asi, the presenter of Group 1. And bago ko simulan ng aming presentation, meron akong inihandang activity. Guess the word. So, pagko-combine lang yung pictures to create a word na magiging related sa aming topic. So, first, eclipse. Second, Aristotle. Third, astronomy. So, welcome to Ancient Astronomy, Physical Science Week 1, Module 1. So, before we start, here is our learning objectives for today. First is to discuss the thoughts of philosophers about the shape of the Earth. Second is to describe the size of the Earth. And third, to realize the importance of the shape of the Earth. So, bago natin simulan, atin mo nang bigyan ng kahulugan, ano nga ba ang astronomy? So, astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond Earth's atmosphere. Kasama dyan yung sun, planets, moon, stars, ginagamitan natin ng mga telescope gaya ng faraway galaxies and even tiny particles. Pero, we will be talking about the ancient astronomy. Ibig sabihin, dati pa or old ones. Dito, wala pa silang mga devices, instrument, gaya ng mga telescope. Nagbe-base pa lang sila sa basic observation of the sky. So, the Greeks are very much noted for their major contribution in different fields. It was in Greece that the golden age of early astronomy was centered. Greeks used philosophical arguments to explain the natural events happening around them, including the movements of the stars and other heavenly bodies. So, yun nga, sinasabi ko, ang Greek astronomers ay nagbe-base pa lang sa physical or basic observation ng sky. Wala pa nga silang mga instrument na makakapag-prove ng universe. The early Greeks had a geocentric view of the Earth. Ang ibig sabihin po ng geocentric view ay ang paniniwalang ang Earth daw po ang center ng universe. Ibig sabihin, yung mga heavenly bodies kaya ng Sun, Moon, Mercury, and the planets ay nag-orbit doon. So, the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn orbited the Earth. Kung nagtataka po kayo kung bakit wala yung Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, ay dahil po hindi po alam ng mga Greek philosophers na nag-i-exist pala yung planet na mga yon. Kasi again, nagbe-base lang yung mga Greek philosophers sa basic observation ng sky. Based dito sa point of view natin na sa Earth, masyado kasing malayo yung mga planets na yun. So, hindi visible from the Earth yung mga planets na yun. So, akala ng Greek astronomers ay hindi sila nag-i-exist at ang planets lang ay 2, 3, 4, 6 yun. So, the Greeks also believed that the stars travel daily around the Earth. However, they all stayed in a transparent, hollow sphere located beyond the planets. They call this sphere as the celestial sphere. So, paano nga ba natin nalaman na ang Earth is spherical? Philosophers' thoughts about the shape of the Earth. So, around 500 BC, si Pythagoras. So, si Pythagoras, hindi lang siya isang mathematician, isa rin siyang philosophers. So, most Greeks believed that the Earth was round, not flat. It was Pythagoras and his pupils who were first to propose a spherical Earth. So, siya yung unang nag-propose na ang Earth daw ay spherical. Pero wala siyang evidence. Straight up propose agad siya nun na ang Earth daw ay spherical. So, next naman is si Anaxagoras in 500 to 430 BC. So, he supported Pythagoras' proposal through his observation of the Earth's shadow that cast on the moon during a lunar eclipse. He observed that during a lunar eclipse, the Earth's shadow was reflected on the moon's surface. The shadow reflected was circular. So, ito po yung nakikita natin tuwing may lunar eclipse, yung nasa right side po. yung shadow po ng Earth is nakakas sa Moon. So, baka po nalilito kayo between a lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse. Ang lunar eclipse po ay ang pagtakip ng Earth directly sa Sun na nagkakas ng shadow sa Moon. Kaya po pag nagpo-full lunar eclipse ay nagiging orange yung ating Moon. Tapos, ang solar eclipse naman po ay ang pagtakip ng Moon sa ating Sun na I think nangyari po for the past months, if I'm not mistaken po, pero hindi po visible sa Earth. So, ito pong nasa left side, yan po dapat ang makikita natin tuwing may lunar eclipse kung flat po yung Earth. Pero hindi po yun ang ating nakikita, yung nasa right side po. So, therefore, yun po yung argument ni Anaxagoras. So, around 340 BC, si Aristotle naman po. Napag-aralan natin sa PPG nung first semester si Aristotle. He was a student of Plato. He listed several arguments for a spherical Earth, which included the first, yung position of the North Star, second is the shape of the Moon and the Sun, and third, the disappearance of the ship when they sail over the horizon. North Star. So, North Star was believed to be at a fixed position in the sky. However, when the Greeks traveled to places near the equator, like Egypt, they noticed that the North Star is closer to the horizon. So, ang North Star po, ay, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, is tinatawag na siyang Polaris ngayon. Yung Polaris na yun ay makikita, let's say, nakafixate siya sa sky. So, ang nangyari daw po, nag-travel yung isang Greek, let's say, pa-north, papuntang north. Yung North Star po is nasa likod na niya. Parang nag-iba po ng places pag travel niya ng north. Pero, kasi po kung flat po yung Earth, hindi po yun magbabago. Yung parang, hindi po mag-move yung North Star na yun or the Polaris nga po. So, yun po yung argument ni Aristotle na may curvature po yung ating planet. So, the next one is the shape of the Sun and the Moon. So, Aristotle argued that if the Moon and the Sun were both spherical, then perhaps the Earth was also spherical. Ang third naman niyang argument is the disappearing ships. If the Earth was flat, then a ship traveling away from an observer should become smaller and smaller until it disappeared. However, the Greeks observed that the ship becomes smaller and then its hull disappeared first before the sail, as if it was being enveloped by the water until it completely disappeared. So, ito po yung itsura. Yung nasa taas po, ito po yung nakikita natin sa paglayo po ng ship na nagtatravel po on the sea. So, sa spherical Earth po, nakikita natin na sa paglayo po ng ship, mukha po siyang lumulubog or nagsisink po. Samantalang kung flat po yung Earth, yung nasa baba po yung nakikita natin, pero hindi po Sa paglayo po ng ship, example po, perspective ko, tapos nagsisail yung ship over the horizon, palayo po, sa sea. Paglayo niya, mukha siyang lumulubog. So, yun po yung third argument ni Aristotle. So, next naman is Eratosthenes. So, ancient scholars tried to provide proof of a spherical Earth and its circumference through calculation. Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference with 2 poles. From his measurement, he computed the circumference of the Earth to be approximately 250,000 stadia, about 40,000 kilometers. So, ito po yung itsura. Cast po siya ng dalawang vertical poles. Isa sa Syene, dalawa pong magkaibang lugar. Isa sa Syene at isa naman po sa Alexandria. So, yung nakas pong shadow sa Syene is 0 degree, while in Alexandria po is 7.2 degree. So, yun pong kanyang observation ay may curvature nga po yung Earth natin. Kasi po, magkaiba po yung nakas na shadow. Kasi po, if flat po yung Earth, the shadow should be the same no matter what time or what place. Dapat po, same po talaga siya. So, yun po yung argument ni Eratosthenes. Also, yung calculation niya po about the circumference of the Earth is very accurate po. Medyo malapit na pong tumama. Kasi, dun po sa na-prove na circumference ng Earth natin ngayon. So, next naman po is si Hipparchus. So, he observed and compared the brightness of 850 stars and arranged them into order of brightness or magnitude. He developed a method for predicting the times of lunar eclipses to within a few hours. Aside from this, he also measured the length of the year to within minutes of the modern value. So, si Hipparchus, kinlassify niya yung mga stars according sa kanilang brightness. At tapos, yun, in-arrange niya sa brightness and dun sa kanilang magnitude. So, ang next naman po, okay. So, ang mga Greek philosophers ay nagkaroon po sila ng argument. Meron po silang tinatawag na geocentric view and heliocentric view. Ang geocentrism or the geocentric view are any theories of the structure of the solar system in which Earth is assumed to be the center of it all. Kanina po na-mention ko po na meron nga pong geocentric view ang mga Greek philosophers. So, ang mga naniwala pong ang Earth ang nasa center ng universe ay sina Eudoxus, Aristotle, and Claudius Ptolemy. Samantalang, meron din po tayong tinatawag na heliocentrism or the heliocentric view. The word helios means sun, centric means centered. This heliocentric view considered the sun as the center of the universe. Ang naniwala lang doon is si Aristarchus. Ito lang yung tama. Ito yung tinatawag natin solar system na na-prove na ngayon. Ang Earth nga, ang sun nga, ang center ng universe na nag-orbit doon yung following planets, Mercury, Venus, and so on. So, si Eudoxus proposed a system of fixed spheres. He believed that the heavenly bodies were attached to these spheres, which carried it while they revolved around the stationary Earth. So, si Eudoxus naman, ang paniniwala niya pa rin is yung Earth daw po ang center ng universe. And outside the Earth, meron pong fixed sphere na nagko-contain po ng mga heavenly bodies, gaya po ng sun, moon, the stars, the planets. Yun pong fixed sphere na yun ay nag-o-orbit po around Earth. Ayun po. So, next ay si Aristotle ulit. So, for him, the Earth is spherical in shape since it always casts a curved shadow when it eclipses the moon. So, hindi lang si Anaxagoras ang nagka-proposal about dito sa lunar eclipse na to, yung nag-eclipse nga. So, he also believed that the Earth was the center of the universe. The planets and stars were concentric, crystalline spheres centered on the Earth. So, next is si Claudius Ptolemy. Siya yung pangatlong naniniwala sa geocentrism. So, he believed that the Earth was the center of the universe. His Ptolemaic model claimed that the planets moved in a complicated system of circles. This geocentric model also became known as the Ptolemaic system. So, ito po yung Ptolemaic model na dinevelop ni Claudius Ptolemy. So, kung makikita nyo po, ang Earth po ang center ng universe following the heavenly bodies. So, sabi dito, this westward drift of the planets is called the retrograde motion. Nakikita nyo po yung mga, yung circle po, yung action pong pa-west na yon ay tinatawag na retrograde motion. Tapos, yun pong epicycles, ayun po yung parang orbit kada planet. Kasi sinasabi po nila na mayroon daw pong times na malapit yung mga planets sa Earth. So, ang paniniwala po nilang yun pong pag malapit po, ando dun po siya sa hindi ko maturo. Basta ando dun po siya sa malapit na last line na yon. Tapos, pag malayo po, andun po sa place na yon. Parang nagmo-move lang po. Magmalapit, andun sa kabilang side. Pag palayo, andun naman sa faraway side. So, tapos, ang revolving around large Circles naman po ay tinatawag na difference. Yung circle na yon, hindi motion ha, yung mismong circle ang tinatawag naman na difference. Okay, last is si Aristarchus. Yun nga, siya lang ang naniwala sa heliocentrism or the heliocentric view, wherein the sun is the center of the universe. So he learned that the sun was many times further than the moon, and it was much larger than the earth. So siya rin yung umalam na mas malaki pala daw yung sun kaysa sa moon. Tapos, nag-attempt din siyang i-calculate ang distance ng sun and the moon by using geometric principle. Pero however, the measurements he got were very small and there were a lot of observational errors. So, tama siya na ang sun ang center ng universe. Pero yung measurement niya about dun sa distance ng sun and the moon were off. Hindi masyadong accurate sa napatunayan na ngayon. So, that's it for the ancient astronomy. Thank you!